Hello and welcome back to Postscripted. This is the part two of us looking at Gurren Lagann, and most importantly, Mike's first viewing of Gurren Lagann. Hey,
That's
everybody.
right. Hi.
So I'm Ray. You just heard Mike, and we also have other co-host Josh.
What's
Hey,
good?
excellent. So originally, we were going to watch the next three episodes, 4, 5, and 6, and I did a pre-watch of them before the other two got to it. And 4, 5, and 6 suck. So let me just get that out of the way. So I told them in advance, like, guys, we're gonna have to extend this. This is horror bad. And now we're gonna talk about episodes 4 through 9 today.
Yeah. I, 4 through 6 aren't bad. There's just also like you're not gonna get a good full discussion out of you'll get one discussion out of basically all three in total. So yes, but yeah, as Ray said, we're gonna extend that to 9. So we are going to discuss the episodes at length. So if you only watch 3 episodes preparing for this, stop real quick, go watch the other 3, then come back because we're gonna get heavy into basically everything that happens. So nothing is off limits in discussion except for Ray and I saying things that Mike does not 100% fully know yet. So
I won't get too much into spoiler because I am, in case I won't make it obvious, I'm quite enjoying my rewatch of this. Except for 4, 5, and 6. Matter of fact, I want your opinion on this. Mike, what's your opinion on episode 4? Let's start there.
Um, episode 4 is it's just I don't know. I don't know if I'm super like I get what the show is doing at this
Mhm.
point. It's just like very I get that like Kamina is supposed to be like a kind of guy, but it's like I get it. I get it already. So it's just kind of a lot. But then I kind of like eventually kind of got it because they're like, oh, they're trying to like find their like their cool transition intro. That's what they're
Mhm.
doing. Okay, I get it. Like, because they didn't have one before, so they need to get one, and that's what this episode's actually about. Um, and I don't know. It
I
was okay.
I
The
want to
black
give.
siblings are kind of fine.
Yeah,
so I here are the first 4 notes that I took. So I I've been trying to take some notes just to spur discussion and remember things because my memory is awful. Episode 4. The recap used 3 different pronunciations of Gurren Lagann in the first 30 seconds, I felt like. And
yeah.
I also felt like
Yeah.
the art style kind of sort of changed. Like they were,
Oh, if I may, if I
okay.
may,
I was like, wait a minute.
can let me pull back the curtain for the making of particularly episode 4. Episode 4 is literally the worst episode in the entire series. It was so bad, the group of people that loved the first 3 episodes, which was most of Japan that was watching at the time, they rioted on the forums back in the day when it aired. They're like, "Yo, what? No, the animation is bad," and the animation is bad. Like,
Yeah.
it is awful. Oh gosh! And the lead art director went onto the forums and called all the commenters asses, like literally, and said, "You all are like me getting very close to an anus, lifting up the buttocks, and taking a large whiff." That's how he was describing talking to the fan base of this series. Now, it was also brought on and noted that the art director had let one of his friends be the lead showrunner for particularly episode 4. So it was called into question, like, was this person actually qualified to do this, or were you just going full nepotism here? Obviously, it was nepotism.
Yep.
Showrunner gets, pushed to the side. The lead art director, who also helped create this studio that was making Gurren Lagann, he resigns and leaves in disgrace. There's no other way to put it, because the publisher said, "Hey, you really can't be doing that."
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of your fault. And carrying on, that the next couple episodes are better. But
Yeah.
sorry, Josh, I
Yeah,
interrupted you.
so
Please go
I
ahead.
did the art style change. I was like, Kamina has the best training tactics by far, obviously very effective. Boobs and Hungry Robot. Those are my first 5, notes from this episode. So
Yeah, they also do. I forgot that the B plot of this episode is me hungry.
yes,
Yeah,
hungry
it's
men
like-
are useless. Hungry robots don't work. Can't do the robots if you don't. Even the inside screen had the we've got empty stomachs. Also, this is one note that I took and I just thought it was ridiculous. The fact that Kamina is like, no, it can't have 16 faces. That's too many faces. Bitch, you've been on the surface for 3.5 seconds. How do you know what the rules of the number of faces are? Shut up.
Like, and it's like 2 is cool, but 16, whoa.
That ain't right. You can't have that many faces.
And
It's
I love how
illegal.
he's just like instantly proven wrong. It's like, no, they form like a gigantic Mighty Morphin Power Ranger looking beastman all made with 16 faces, and Carmen was like, that seems unsporting. It's like my translation of that.
Also, this whole situation could have been solved if they'd have cooked their fucking food first. Like, they go and they get these, like, 16 puffballs, and they're like, let's just eat them raw. Like, no, throw them bitches on fire. Little
just
saute.
like, throw them in the Barbie, give them the air fryer.
Yeah.
You can do something. There's a lot
Yeah.
of ways to do it. Like,
This fight was their fault, hands down.
Yes. What did you guys think of the new character introduced, Kitan, or Kitten, if you're listening to the English dub?
I like Kitan.
hold on, which one is he again?
Oh, he's got the blonde hair. He's the leader of Team Black. Which, by the way, I do want to note for the listeners, are not black characters.
Yeah,
Don't
finally,
get
there's
that in
black
your head.
people in anime. Treated
Shut
as-
up, Mike.
Oh wait, shut up.
Fir-
Okay, never mind.
Finally, representation. It happened.
They're just wearing black clothing. That's why they call them.
Close enough.
It's a brother and 3 sisters, and all 3 sisters are pining for Kamina's member.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
They just barely met him, and all of them are horny for Kamina.
Horn dogging.
My last note for the episode is just simps.
Yeah, they are Kamina simping hard. Yeah. And backing up a little bit, can you blame them? This is a man that for the last 3 episodes has just whatever he's wanted, he's kind of manifested into being. So I don't know.
Maybe
That's
he's on to
kinda useful.
something. He's got that main character energy, despite being, I think, the side character, which is a class. It's very like Big Trouble in Little China, you know.
Yep.
Kinda, yeah.
I think the last main thing about this episode that is a juxtaposition from the previous episode to this one is like in the last episode we have Vero being like, "Bitch, I don't have 2 faces. I just have a helmet. Shut the fuck up." To this
I love
episode,
how mad he gets about
I
that,
know.
which is very funny.
but in this episode, the Beastmen are like, "Yeah, we have a fuck ton of faces, and that makes us better. So fuck you." So it's like, wait a minute. Apparently, we're just acknowledging the number of faces is important now. So
I do want to note that Gurren Lagann is one of the animes made during the time frame where you just made an anime without a source material referencing back. So there's a lot of, they're kind of making this up as they go going on here.
yep.
Like, this was not previously a manga like you typically find nowadays.
I mean, and obviously, like manly combining, there are no rules. It's all just vibes. You just
It is a very vibe-based like
Kamina is
mech system, I will say, like
pure
a
vibes.
based combat platform.
I do like that to power the mech, they do need fighting energy, and fighting energy comes from a full tummy. And if you don't have a full tummy, you don't have fighting energy.
Yep. Little
Mike?
butt tailed action there.
Yeah.
That phenomenal. Also,
Mike called Buta a little freak because he
Buddha
pulled
be a
off-
little.
yo, get that tail,
Buddha
baby.
be a little freak because he's like, "Come, you gotta eat my ass.
You gotta eat my ass.
If you want to live, you gotta eat my ass. You gotta do it."
and he just pulls it off.
You know what though?
Little
We're
freak.
gonna come back to that little nugget in a few episodes. So,
Yeah.
but I think that kind of unfortunately wraps it up for that's it for episode 4. There's really not much else to say about that.
No, they beat the 16-face robot almost single-handedly after they eat some Buta ass jerky. and then it turns into a quick fight using recycled scenes from the last episode.
Yeah.
And I was like, man,
Yeah.
this really sucks. This is bad.
But hey,
Like, how does that happen though? Like, that just
What happened?
I guess it'll kind of makes, like knowing more context about like, the the fan reaction to this specific episode being like really bad
Yeah.
does kind of, I guess, make the clip show make more sense, because like, did it change studios or something? Was there like a time break? Like, what happened?
Well,
What's going on?
I can answer that when we get to the clip show episode.
Okay.
So let's talk about episode 5, in which stuff starts happening again.
yeah,
You can
in episode
you can actually almost entirely skip episode 4 if you're watching it.
I mean,
And no-
I'm. You could almost skip this one too. Be honest. I mean, yes, you introduce some
Almost.
characters, but I will say, in pure Gurren Lagann fashion, the time at which I noted boobs is 3 notes earlier than the previous episode. So this one goes fallen hole boobs. So
I almost said Shinji. I did say Shinji.
The Freudian slip. We're back to
It's
Ava.
just, it's just,
Simone.
he just does that little "Hey Simone."
Mhm.
ding. Just, it's like, I
Um,
know what you're.
where's
doing.
her
I know
beer?
what you're doing.
What is episode
does have a
5 is when
gun.
they does have a gun. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Save that thought. Save it. They fall into a hole and they meet a. Would you guys call this a cult?
Oh yeah, 100%. Also,
I would say this is a cult.
Prince
Mhm.
Zuko from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Is that the voice actor?
I'm like 90% confident. I didn't put the effort into Googling it, but I'm like 90% confident.
Yeah, they meet a new character, who, spoiler alert, becomes a mainstay.
I called him
Rossio.
a Puritan little bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, don't make fun of their society. He's like, don't make fun of their society, guys. It sucks. Maybe they like that it sucks down here.
And then, of course,
Yeah,
we've
that's
got Kamina being a
demon.
perv, being like, wow, you take away the boobs and the midriff, and you've got nothing, man. What a dick.
Oh, I think that was Kamina that said
Yep,
that.
Kamina that said that after they Puritan up Yoko's outfit there.
I want to say Kamina is peak 2000s toxic masculinity.
Yep.
Except he's the main character.
Absolutely.
And they
It's so
play it up
funny.
as it's a good thing.
Yeah. Again, there's a commentary to be had there that you could make the argument that they're trying to make, but it doesn't land because they play it too straight and like
Yeah.
they don't.
They're not in on the joke.
Yeah. It's
But
there's yeah.
people who are silly would be like, oh no, see how like a clever of a they're having their cake and eating it too by
Yeah.
saying like, it's like
They
you don't get to do both.
they're appealing to the side that says, oh my god, we are ridiculous when it comes to ladies in anime, and you're also appealing to the side that says my hero lady needs to have big knockers and a skinny waist. Like they're playing both sides of the crowd, trying to claim that they're having a commentary but not pulling it off correctly. And I know that is a reoccurring theme, especially with this specific character and aspect of
Mm-hmm.
anime, but like that is one of those lines where they're trying to like wink and nod to it, and you're just like, no bro, you didn't do that.
There is a big giant commentary that the show does finally peak to, but that's way at the end, and we don't need to get there yet.
Yeah.
Like, I know Mike is watching this saying, are these idiots? How is this some of their favorite anime of all time? And you'll have to trust me when I say there is a bow on top
I
of that.
find myself asking this occasion. I'm like, I mean, I get it, but I don't know, man.
There's
This is building a giant present, and it's gonna look dumb at first. As a matter of fact, it is dumb. Let's just get that out of the way. It's a really stupid looking gift, but by the time the box is set and the bow is wrapped, you're like, I
I'm
promise
trying
you,
to
you'll be
think
like,
what's
I get
the
it.
dumbest show I could do this with you guys and convince you it goes anywhere. I'm trying to think.
Jersey Shore. Actually, I love Jersey
No,
Shore.
shut
Let's do a
up.
Jersey Shore rewatch.
Well, Mike's thinking
Flash
of that.
forward. Yeah, let's go. Let's do a flash forward rewatch.
The video game?
No,
No,
the
that
show.
was a show. I feel like I watched that.
We did.
Yes.
Yeah, don't
It
drink
last-
the juice box.
It
Take the
lasted
juice
for
box.
like half a season.
Yeah, and it was bad. It was not good.
Oh. Okay, so
All that being said, the 6th episode of this show is a literal fucking clip show of the first
Real-
5.
1 second.
yeah,
Episode. Only thing you need to know from episode 5 is in Year of Our Lord 2022. This is way too relatable because 1, fuck them kids. 2, I do appreciate how Kamina is being combative with the bullshit, but also the villagers telling them to stop shooting the gods is way too fucking relatable. And other than that,
Really?
yeah,
Why is
that's
that?
because you have been fed bullshit for so long that you're getting new information. We're like, oh my god, these things are bad, and they're like, no, that is our god and our protector. You must not hurt it, bitch. It's here to eat you all. Fuck you.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. They did control one of the gunmen that they were praying to, like the one in the waterfall.
The
What
face
was it? I think-
god.
yeah, the face god, the lead pastor, preacher, whatever,
Yes.
controlled it for a couple moments. I do want to say I kind of understand the pragmaticness of their cult of like we can only have 50 humans alive because that's how much food our regenerative resources will ever cover. Any more than that, and it actually puts us into chaos or everyone else starves. It was like, I get that, but then you have this hot-headed 18-year-old named Kamina who's like, yeah, but what if you just went to the top and just like did everything? And that kind of throws a giant wrench in
It's like,
everything.
what if we're just these people are just trapped in the black and white part of the infomercial and just refuse to.
There's got to be a better way.
There's gotta be a way. It's literally any other way then.
You get 2 more extra characters besides Rocio. You get the twins, Derry and
Yeah, they're
Jimmy.
cute. They're cute.
Yeah. They're fine. An old man, whose name will be Old Man until further notice, joins them.
Gotta love
That's it.
All right. Episode 6. Yep.
It's a fucking clip show.
I want to say a couple other small notes here. I really liked how in the Manly combining thing, all of that build up, I did think was kind of funny for it to be revealed only that the drill still just goes right into the fucking cockpit
Yep.
where Kamina is.
Yeah, just
Like,
right
I
behind
thought
them.
that was like the way they did it wrong the first time, and that's why I did that. But it's like, no,
Nope.
it's just
That's
above that.
that's intended. Just
Oh, and then the reveal when the other kid gets in, and it like crashes through, and he's like, "Oh fuck," which is very funny.
Rossi's like, what the hell's happening?
Actually, before it gets to the clip show part in episode 6, they do go to like a hot spring.
Yeah.
And okay, this is where I
Oh
said
my
keep
God.
that in mind. There's a gigantic Evangelion reference there. There's Rei, Asuka, and Misato just among a bunch of like lewdly clothed bunny girls inside this hot spring hotel. It's like, oh, Mike will enjoy this because he's a huge Misato simp. And look, that one looks exactly like Misato. That one's unmistakably Asuka, and that's clearly Rei. Oh, that's cute. They have an Ava reference in their giant robot anime.
If you appreciated Rei and Asuka being there, I'm sorry, you are a pedophile.
I mean, let's call it what it is.
Okay, sorry, alleged.
Oh,
You either are a pedophile or you love the pedophile. I pick your poison.
But what was it I said? Boys love Asuka and Rei, but men love Misato.
That's right.
Men know what's up.
Misato has a job, a gun. She's a functioning alcoholic. She
got a
has car
penguin?
payments.
She's a cool roommate.
Her roommate's a penguin.
Man.
A very intelligent, very sentient penguin that knows
You know,
that reads. He reads a magazine inside of a hammock.
I love that for him. Yeah, that's why I think during these episodes, especially, I was like really struggling to like. It's like, oh man, I miss Evangelion. Evangelion was good. This
Ava-
is
Evangelion does say a lot. Yeah,
this is mid at best.
Okay, you're right. This episode is a clip show in the middle of like episode 6 of 26 is weird. And this is going back to what I was saying at episode 4 is that yeah, they lost the lead director of the studio left and they had to get a new storyboard artist and a new director of the episodes going forward because the art in episode 4 sucked. It set them back a while. So clip shows for people that don't watch a lot of anime, that is the studio buying time. That's an admission of failure. Every time you see a clip show, it is them saying we had to get an episode out because we're contractually obligated to, but we literally need more time to do so. Attack on Titan, really guilty of this. I was there, Attack on Titan. I saw you. I see you. But yeah, every single time you see a clip show, that's what that is. It's the same thing here.
Yeah, and you know, this is an interesting, like, you know, how far in advance are the, you know, you think about like, you know, television and serialized television and how far, at least it, you know, the way typically worked up until more recently, like, you know, how far in advance they're kind of yes, they're in production during the airing of the season, but usually they're like several episodes ahead, whereas, you know, in this time it feels like anime is a little, you know, more on, you know, on time delivery of like, we are producing things right up until the point that we're leaving it because it, you know, obviously if there's a fan backlash enough for there to be this studio turmoil and turnover 2 episodes later, then the production really must not be that far ahead.
No,
Which
it never is.
Which, you know, in one sense, it's like, it's good that you can maybe react a little more proactively to feedback in some senses, but also like, you're 6 episodes in, you have turmoil, and you have basically half of a story that doesn't really move much of anything, and then, you know, half clip show going over the things that we literally just saw, and it's very jarring.
I want to just remember that when we get towards the end of the entire thing, just remember what you said, like the end of the series.
But also, my last note is just, everyone's naked. Look who's back.
Everyone's naked. Buta keeps covering up Kamina's wiener.
I will say the drill. I
covering Simone.
I made a note. Simone gonna get pink eye.
God.
And I love the action, and I mean there's a lot of dynamic action and dynamic animation in this episode that they must have brought back the A-Team because it looks good.
Yeah, the actual part of this episode that is an actual episode, I thought was good. Like the fights, like when everybody's running in the thing, and
we learned that there can be nocturnal. Like, you learn that there can be nocturnal gunmen. Like, yes, for the most part they've only been fighting during the day, but hey, there's a subset that are nocturnal. Like, there's some good action that happens, and, you know, the naked gag is funny. But, like, you spend over half the episode going back. Also, I'm something about why did it piss? There something pissed, and I don't know why it did that.
I want to point out that this is both the clip show episode and the fan service episode all combined into one.
Yep, they got it all wrapped up and done.
They're like, we are so far behind. We need to just get this out of the way now.
Just like we're sorry. We have to do one of these contractually as an anime. We're smash it all into one. Surprised there wasn't a beach episode here.
It's either a beach or it's the
a hot
spa
spring
episode.
Yeah.
There's an anime I'm rewatching that I watched as a kid. I'm slowly rewatching it because it's not as good as I remember. Outlaw Star. I got the Blu-ray set of that for Christmas. Yeah, not as good as I remembered. Actually, as Mike would say, actually kind of mid. Gonna be honest, right? Not great, not bad. The voice acting back then, woo, we tolerated a lot. We just shook our heads back then and said this is acceptable. For old English dubs, it was not. Oh, and the homophobia. Um, Again, we tolerated a lot back then, and it's a future-based show. They're like,
Yeah.
haha, isn't it funny that gay people are perverts? It's like, no, wow, holy shit, oh my god, this is bad. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's talk about episode 7, where
Viral.
Viral appears again, and
That little freak.
he immediately tells the team Gurren Lagann to get dressed.
Yep, we all still
Uh,
naked here.
Yeah, he says it is unhonorable to fight you naked. Go get dressed, and it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
the fan service is over.
Yeah, you
immediately.
filthy apes, go get dressed. Like, okay.
I
I can hear
appreciate.
Frieza saying, "Get dressed."
But I will say,
monkey."
like,
Get dressed, monkeys.
episode 7, like, after they get dressed, right into the action, like, boom, we're fucking going. Like,
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, we have.
It's a good
It's
one.
like this. This is when it kind of picked up. I was like, okay, I think like I'm seeing why we. I'm glad that we're not just stuck discussing 4, 5, and 6 here. That we have a little bit more meat to chew on, and then by meat to chew on, I mean
Some
meat.
Buddha butt.
Meat.
Swing
Yeah,
that big boat.
we finally get some mention of, like, we find out we hear about the Spiral King and there being a civilization beyond this,
Mhm.
and then boom, Mac Blast, boom, what? Fucking mobile base, let's go, Daigunzen. It's all happening.
The giant
shot
like,
of,
aircraft carrier.
that thick
Thick.
aircraft carrier coming this way.
Coming.
Just
Coming this way.
Lord have mercy.
Oh
God.
Lord, he coming.
I need a bleep button on my stream deck. Just
That
whoop.
mobile battle platform got me going like honk honk ooga hubba hubba.
It was good. I like it. I like I like Daigunzen, and I like the concept that. Remember what I told you at the very beginning, Mike. For Gurren Lagann, the way they solve all problems is to just simply make the mech bigger, and Daigunzen comes into view, and it's a big boy.
Like, oh shit, they get bigger. They get real bigger.
And I like how like Gurren Lagann isn't like that. You could really screw up a mecha anime because you make it invincible, and they're like, no, Gurren Lagann just straight up loses. And
Yeah.
they have to convince Kamina, like, you're going to die if you lose out here. You need to retreat. And that takes
Easier
like,
said than done, because Kamina is Kamina.
Kamina do be a Kamina, but they retreat. There is this the episode? Yeah,
I also like how this thing just looks like Bender, but with a huge boat.
how it like does the Lisa Simpson arm rotation thing to throw.
I'm going to go forward like this. That's exactly. Oh my god, that's exactly what
It just
does.
picks them up, woof, woof, pick up, woof, woof, woof. I like that. I like the really stupidity of the animation of that. They retreat and what was it? More people come by in different Beastmen. It was like all the people, the characters you met earlier from what was
Yeah,
it?
because
The
we kind of
village?
the whole gang kind of show up here. Like,
Yeah, they took Kamina's very stupid but very like good idea of, yeah, I'm just going to take their mecha for myself, and you can't stop me. And everyone decided, oh, we should do that as well. We'll have a fighting chance, and then they just do it, and then they appear and they join Team Gurren is what they call it now.
mhm.
Which, in case you don't know, for the Japanese, in Japanese, Gurren means crimson. And in case you didn't know, Lagann means face. So, Crimson Face is what the name of the mecha actually is.
Ah, that makes sense.
That comes into play later.
I see. Noted.
And Kamina gives like a speech. he gives like a rousing speech to the crowd about how they're going to take out Dai Gunson, and him and Yoko have a tender moment, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's like our first bit
Um,
of like, it's like, I think we kind of talked about it earlier. It's like the show doesn't get to like, you don't get to say like, oh, Kamina is such like a, he's a parody of this, despite actually being exactly it. But this is like the very, it feels like this was when I was like, okay, it's like we have the beginning of like a turn here, perhaps, which is
oh,
like, I welcome.
and Simone freaks out because Simone had feelings for Yoko,
Mm-hmm.
which
Simone, ding.
yeah, I mean she's flirting with him a little bit.
Yeah.
She's being coy, but Simone is also canonically 14, and Yoko is canonically 14. So this makes actually a lot more sense. But obviously Yoko is attracted to Kamina because every female in this show is attracted to Kamina. I mean, look at him. He manifests the ability to do anything. I get it.
Also, Simone is canonically 14, but he looks like he's 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I mean,
Once again, this goes back to what I talked about at episode 1. The creators of the show could have easily just said Yoko's 18, and the show actually goes up a point on like the Metacritic score.
Yep.
But because
Is
it
it
did
that
make,
hard?
it's weird.
Just come on.
It's apparently it was literally impossible for them to do that. Yeah, and Simone has a freak out because that little love triangle that was manifesting, that I want to be clear, Kamina doesn't care about. Like, Kamina is not attracted to Yoko. He like doesn't see or acknowledge his advances.
Just a true blockhead. Like,
He is the peak Sigma
So
male. He is
so
on that
free.
grind.
I'm on that Gurren grind set.
Grind no.
Get it? Because it's a drill. Because grind.
Oh, that's true.
grind.
Oh no, that works on so many levels. He's like, wake up, get in the mech, fight the beastmen, get up, make the money. Women, no women.
Eat your rat jerky.
eat rat ass.
Trying to eat that rat ass.
There's a TikTok of a guy who does the Papa John's better pizza, better ingredients, better money, better bitches, my clothes better, my shoes better, fuck Little Caesar, fuck Domino's. It's very that energy.
Kamina is definitely someone that actually would unironically be screaming, "Always be closing," while he's inside Gurren Lagann.
Kamina loves TikTok, I bet.
Oh my god, gosh. But
Kamina would have an alpha male podcast, 100%.
Is Kamina
like,
like Andrew Tate of Gurren Lagann?
No, I think he's like, I don't think he knows that, like, I think he would get to it by, like,
Because all those guys know they're
Kamina's
problematic.
like-
He doesn't quite know
like
that he's
a golden
problematic yet.
retriever figuring out that, like, if you're loud, people will give you what you want. It's like, it's not malicious about it, but it's like kind of annoying. I need a better metaphor for this.
The yappiest dog gets all the treats, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Except in this case, like, the dog barks so loud that treats manifest in front of it, and the dog can now get as many treats as it wants.
Exactly.
Common is kind of magic like that. Okay.
He's got that main character energy.
Well, so Kamina gives a speech. He kisses Yoko, and then he promises Yoko, that kiss that you just had, I'll make it 10 times better when I get back from this battle, when we take over Dai Gunson. And it's like, did you just proposition her for sex? Is that what you did? And Yoko like blushes, and she says, I can't wait. And I'm like, oh yeah, they want to bang. Okay, we're good.
They
They gonna fuck. Hey baby, you want some fuck? Yeah.
100%. So then we get to episode 8. In episode 8, the entire episode's good. Let's just get this out of the way.
Like, I know I was I'm not the best at like kind of keeping track of like the quality of animation from episode to episode, but there's some stuff that happens in this episode, and I was like, oh, because there's one thing I kind of knew about this show,
Mm.
is that it goes places, is what I was told.
It-
And I something happens in this episode, and I was like, boy, that's not like something we've seen before. That seems new.
well, let's talk about it.
Yep.
They decide. All right, Team Gurren's gonna attack Daigunzen. Oh,
Team Gurren now,
Team-
Ray.
is it Daigoren at episode 8?
Yes, they make that distinction at the very end of episode 7 during Kamina's little speech. He renames it Team Gurren.
Ah, that's right. Because they're like, we're going to take Daigunzen.
Yep.
They have it in their minds. They're like, once again, Kamina getting the Kamina magic out.
Yep.
Of like, if we say we've already taken it, it's already out.
Since tomorrow we're gonna get Daigunzen, we are now Team Gurren. Like we
That's
don't. We
just
don't.
like,
I
you
love
know,
it. Perfect
just-
Sigma male.
Just like, you know, he
Ultimate manifestation into reality.
he really does. It's incredible.
Honestly, Kamina is a
Goals.
chaos magician. He just kind of like puts it out there in a way that is so chaotic that it just kind of falls into place for him. He is 100% a chaos magician.
I love him, and that's something I like about him. His character is just masculinity. That's it. That's all his character is, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because the way he uses it is he's always uses it for good. He's never once in this entire series. You can make the argument like he's a bit mean for Yoko, but he just sees Yoko as like another bro. Like he doesn't
he
like
really does.
he
He's
doesn't like
oh, this
try
is
to
the bro who I
mistreat her.
can make jokes about their butt to, because that's
Yeah,
what
he's
the-
like, hey, you have an extremely fat ass and your boobs are big. Isn't that funny? And he's not like.
I love to compliment the homies when they got that nice ass, you know.
Compliment your homies' butts more. Damn it,
That's right.
It's okay. But they, you're right, Josh. Team Daigoren, my apologies, goes out and attacks Daigunzen, and Simone is having some panic attacks because
doing well.
because his love triangle's broken. It's not a triangle anymore.
Yep.
It's just two people.
It's a love line segment and a single point.
It's true.
Can I also just say, as Simone is having his mental breakdown and freak out, the Bants in this time period, top notch Bants we got going on here. Just between Viral, between the gunmen, between the humans, just some top notch back and forth happening there.
Yeah, good voice acting and good actual like dialogue between all of them. I love the part where like Kamina is getting his ass beat by not only Viral but also the other gunman and the gunman that's in the lead of Daigunzen. And Kamina says, "Hold on, I'll fix Simone," because Simone's on top of Daigunzen now, and he has Lagan's power is to take over gunmen by like injecting into them. They don't know this. They just figured this out by Kamina saying, "Yeah, it worked for me. Let's do it for you," and throws it on top of them. That's their plan.
I made a note. The Daigunzen has yeet arms, just fucking throwing gunmen everywhere.
We were talking about that, where he's just on the Bowser character.
I also really, again, like we kind of very briefly mentioned, like the animation at the beginning of this, but I really liked that sequence there that you just mentioned, right? Because like
the fluid motion of
Kamina,
those arms,
yeah, like
is
the
just,
motion and just like the way it like just kind of
it
it's
feels
very,
real.
like, not mechy in a lot of ways too, where it just kind of like it just like it's very like animated. I know it's like an animated show, but it just like has a lot of like Kamina when he's like running up to Simone, just has like a lot of like very exploding like bounding energy when he like double jump, like throws his arms to like land on the ship.
Yeah.
The absolute
In this
ship. It's just
in
it
this-
looks really fun.
In this, yes, and in this section, I have a lot of all caps notes. Simone, broken heart. Haha, hilarious comment of bounce and punch. Sarcastic. Guess when I'm upset, I need someone to punch me in the face. Fuck, that worked. What the fuck, Kamina?
Yes. Go, let's see you
Sometimes-
grit those teeth. Bap, and decks him is so hard. Simone does a flip inside his cock.
Well, then he's just like hits him with the good cop, believe in me who believes in you. Like,
Yep.
You're just like, God damn it, Kamina, you're gonna do it again, aren't you?
You magnificent bastard, you. And again,
Kamina's the LeBron James of Teen Gurren. Well,
there's no empathy.
Well,
There's no time for empathy. There's no time for sympathy. It's just pure toxic masculinity, and it just works. But he's doing it for the sake of, if you don't do this, Simone, everybody dies. I need you to get your hit in the game. Punch! Now, shut up, squash whatever you're thinking right now, and take over this battleship. And it works. It just fucking works. And Simone instantly takes it over. Like there's just a small transition scene. But, yeah, and then we get to Act 2, which, let's not bury the lead. Kamina dies!
yeah.
Not yet. Not yet. I mean,
he gets a...
Kamina isn't doing well. That's my note. Kamina is not doing well.
He gets a mortal wound. One of the
That
gunmen...
scream is guttural. I think that's Timon, the general. Like, I think he's the one that has that pike that fucking spears him.
Yeah, it goes through the Kamina's mech, through the cockpit, and through Kamina. So he's not doing okay, right? He's doing bad. He's having a bad time. And Simone loses it. He starts taking control of Dai guns in and starts rampaging. Yoko starts crying, but she starts like still nailing off her shots. Everyone starts coming together, and it just becomes chaos. He starts losing the battle.
The battle's not going well, but Kamen is like, "Yo, super ultra combining Gurren Lagann. Let's go. We gotta make this happen."
Oh, I like that line from Kamina as it's getting up. He's like, "Ugh, can a guy get some sleep?"
Yep.
Like
He knows he's dead, and he's like, "God, you guys are fucking assholes. Why can't you do this without me?"
yeah. Again,
But I'm dying literally now. You're gonna have to learn how to do this. So do it for me
y'all
one
gonna have to
last
figure this
time.
out.
yeah, they do.
It's so like, it's so on its face corny, but it
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 works.
works.
it just I hate it. But just God, it works though.
Because there's enough in those 7.5 episodes that pisses you off but endears you to Kamina, where you're like, yo, I don't know what they're gonna do with this guy, but like, I'm kind of here for it because it's ridiculous. And then they're like, haha, no, that motherfucker's dead. You like the entire driving force of this whole show, of this whole group, the person who is literally in charge of everything, who is the reason that they are here doing the impossible, done, game over, killed.
Yeah,
Fuck him.
it's like this was. I mean, obviously, this was like the first. This was like a big surprising thing for me, because like I just kind of thought he would be around the whole time, but I'm really interested. We have another episode to talk about, but like this is like we have a lot of episodes left. Is he really? He's not really dead, right? Like.
He
He did.
It's just interesting, like.
But like,
he got stabbed through the entire abdomen and chest.
Yeah.
I think he's very dead.
Also,
I don't know what
our,
their medicine is like. Can't be that good.
We get in like as I like how as Gurren gets larger, it just continues to yassify.
oh yeah,
It rocks.
yes. But I will like. So, yes, they do their finishing move, the Giga Drill break, but like, okay, the battle is finally over, and like, Kamina actually expires. We've got the rain, the color fades, and then we get episode title. Whereas before, every episode before that, we get the episode beforehand, but at the end, it's like later, buddy, and you're like, I got goosebumps. Like, I've seen this show multiple times. I know it's been years, but like, just the. Oh, color fade, rain, everybody knows what's going on, and then we get episode title later, buddy. And you're like, oh fuck, like that. Whew, that got me.
I sometimes, this is my third rewatch of the entire show. But yeah, it still always like gets me because I always forget that Kamina dies so early in the series. Because as Mike said, even though I've seen it a couple times, he's just such a force of nature in this show. You're like, yeah, you turn on the next episode. It's the Kamina Power Hour. What's he going to do today? And you have to go into the next episode like nothing. He's not going to do anything.
Also, that drill was really big.
Oh, the Giga drill break.
Yeah, Giga Drill was big boy.
This is something I like about Gurren Lagann versus other mecha anime, is it so doesn't take itself seriously at all that they take a lot of artistic license for what should that attack look like, and the attack is like they just turn into a gigantic F-off drill, and it just flies through the air, and yeah, then Kamina just as you said, good usage of words, expires right there in the cockpit. Probably from massive blood loss. Who knows how he was holding it together? Being very honest.
I mean, honestly, he was
Pure
probably
spite.
he was probably, given the size of that staff, probably a little bit cut in half, but we don't have to talk about that.
Yeah, they never showed his lower body, I want to point
Yeah.
out. How much of that Kamina was controlling that mech? Maybe it's for the best we didn't see.
Oh,
That's-
buddy.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Episode 9.
Is it not? Yeah, the
We're-
last episode.
Yeah, we're on to 9, and starting off strong, we finally get to meet the Spiral King.
Yeah. An antagonist.
Yep.
Yeah, I loved as far as like an evil layer review. Loved the vibe here. Love the creepy underlighting.
You got the creepy ladies. You got the
Love a creepy like court.
You got the
Always
weird General Beastmen who are be like, yo, yeah, you created us, and but also let us serve you. You're like, what the fuck? The Spiral King created the Beastmen. What is happening?
I want to point out something in case you guys had not been pointing out. I am one of those people that if the opening of an anime is a banger, I watch it every single time. Have you guys noticed the subtle changes in the openings of Gurren Lagann when Kamina passes? Because the opening changes.
I skipped the opening, so I don't.
I skipped the opening too.
Okay. Watch the openings. If for nothing else, when something major happens, the opening changes. They keep that up. It's not like Evangelion, which is pure and never needed to change because they got it right the first time. And they put it through to the end. No, Gurren Lagann's ones keep changing, and also the title font keeps changing in Gurren Lagann. This title font is very soft. It's cuter. It's got pink and blues sparkled all around it. And I don't know if you guys are noticing these small details, but these small details are important. They're kind of what makes the show a little bit better. But yeah, after introduction to Spiral King, you see Simone being a right ass because he's going through the stages of grief. He lost his bro.
So speaking, ooh man, pet peeve of mine. We'll get to that in a second though.
Okay.
To what you were saying about like changing art styles, though, I will say in this episode, like they use some like slightly tweaked art styles really effectively. Like one of the notes I have here is like after the big city reveal, it's just, hey, we got a cool art style, like really dirty pencil strokes as they are setting the mood of Team Daiguren after this battle and the loss of Kamina. Like just the way that art is for this next portion makes you really feel the dire mood of everybody around. And like, yes, people are handling it differently, but like generally speaking, like it's just like it's not good. It's dirty and it's gross in a way you're just like, man, they're not doing well.
And even just like I think just like a lot of I mean, it kind of helps that this is like the last episode was like so explosive and like, and we're just like in a lot more like interior spaces and just like have a lot more like stationary, slow imagery. It really like it has. I mean, it's it is like good directing because it is such a big jump and change and like shift in tone that you can't not feel the Kamina not being there anymore.
The void
Like
that's created by his absence.
Yeah, it's like it's really cool how much it's not just like up like the plot of the episode, but like so much of how the episode is like looks
framed and portrayed and like
too. So it's really
it's
cool.
it's in everything, the music, the art, the story, the characters, like all of it is felt.
It's like Depressed Robot Show. Hey, we're back to Evangelion. All right, nice.
Yeah, let's go.
Love it.
Mike is like, finally.
Oh.
Everything feels bad. It is about time.
Feastin', fam.
We feasting.
But yeah, I will say, like, here, Simone is not doing well. I made a note here, like, basically everybody blames him for Kamina's death, and like they come out and say it like, yo, it's kind of your fault he died, and he's like, yeah, it's my fault he died too. Like, there's not
toxic cycle of...
yeah, not very healthy. But also, I have in all caps here, stop saying bro. I hate, like, just the way, like, yeah, I'm the reason bro died. Like, no. Bro is something you guys say between each other, not just, like, when you refer to him.
Yeah, it's odd.
Yeah. You didn't like that? I thought I appreciated the like soft. To me, and you can take this as you will. To me, it's Simon not letting go. Like he, the way I interpret it as he's still calling him bro because to him he desperately wants him to still be there. He never. It's extremely rare when he calls Kamina until Kamina in the very first episode says, "Hey, you could just call me bro," and Simon like does that from then on out.
I mean, I see what you're saying.
Like that's the way I interpreted that. Like,
and yes, now that you say that, I'm like, okay, that does make sense. Like, in the grief of what's going on and of Simone's personality to following Kamina. Okay, I get that, but also I think that it feels more like something where he's like, this is how you refer to me when you're talking to me, not just like how you say my name forever.
Yeah, but he's also like, again, he's a little kid.
Yeah,
like,
he's a kid. He's been on the surface for 8.5 seconds at this point.
Yeah, a little bit longer. Yeah.
But there's a lot going on. He's got a lot to deal with. He's lost his parents. He's lost his bro, and but yeah, it just
he's lost his parents, his bro, his girl.
But
the
hey,
second pilot of the robot.
He has
down
gotten absolutely hung.
Catastrophic.
Just absolutely hung mobile operating base. So like, 6 in one, half a dozen of the other, right?
He does have a mobile operator. That's another thing. They're not really celebrating it. They have, like, as far as they're aware, the largest gunman on Earth to the point where they can just live in it comfortably. And, like, a lot of people move into it. And no one is excited for that because they're like, we've lost something that can... Actually, that's the last line from the last episode. We've lost something that can never be replaced. And that is... There's all still pissed about it. No one's celebrating their victory. But getting into the rest of the episode, don't mind. They meet a human in the box. They meet Nia. Why was she in the box? And... why is it that there's so... I can hear the feminist analysis of like, did you just meet your female character in a box? Like, oh god, this ain't looking good.
I'm always trying to meet ladies in boxes. You know what I mean?
She got weird eyes. She doesn't know what rain is. She's got no undies or shoes. don't think she's
Did
talking.
they say she has no undies?
They imply it.
Okay. This is a weird enough show that it's like, yes.
Yeah, she's talking some weird shit about mud, and then she asked the fucking 8D dimensional question: what is a human, bitch? We don't have enough time to get into that. Like,
We.
All right, you need to sit her down and play.
Near Automata.
Near Automata. That's how you learn what a human is.
That's how you come to some conclusions on what a human is. You'll get a answer.
and then a B answer and a C answer and a D answer.
I appreciate that she's asking this.
Oh my god.
That was good. That was good.
That was infuriating.
That was good.
I like it. The best part is that it took you a minute to get it, and then you were even more mad.
No, that was good. That was good. I like the person that she's asking all these questions is a person that I do believe in this show 5 days ago discovered that there's a sky to the earth. It's like, of all the people.
Quick study.
She's like, bitch, what is human? Honestly, I don't know at this point.
Because Simone's like, please, for the sake of the both of us, you have to know more than me.
He didn't know Beastman existed like 6 days ago. Like,
you have to teach me. I found you in a box. I am not the educator here. I love that juxtaposition. That the best thing that Simone can teach her is like, I know how to use a drill. I'll protect you from any beastmen that come here with my drill if needed. Stop making that face, Josh.
no.
Yeah.
And by weird eyes, she's got those full on like.
She got like fucking crosses in her eyes and shit.
Yeah.
She got third impact eyes.
I think the
Third impact.
That's it. That's
All right.
exactly. That's.
All right. And
I think the FDA outlawed those actually.
Third impact eyes.
Yeah.
They invite her onto Dai Gurren now because that's the name of it. It's not Dai Gunzen anymore.
Okay, first up, real quick. Speaking of, real quick, back up. And I know this is probably just Yoko's grief, but at one point they're talking about, they're at the mess. They're eating that weird fucking meat, the one with the fucking bone holding out. Where do they get? Don't know. But they're like, man, Team Gurren's really going. She's like, no, motherfucker, it's Team Dai Gurren. Bitch, what is the difference between Team Gurren and Team Dai Gurren? Like, it's the same. I get that.
Listen. Because Yoko's grieving, Dai Gurren is what Kamina called it before he died.
I get it. The more like sometimes I made those notes. I'm like, oh, you know what? This is actually doing a pretty good like thing that people cling to in the moment of grief. Like, yes, that's actually really good. Like, people will grab onto that one thing and like hold on to it for dear life in that moment of grief because it gives them the connection to that person. So like, yes, that makes sense. But as somebody who doesn't have that same connection, I'm just like, that's fucking annoying. But for people out there who are friends of people going through intense grief, that's important to recognize that sometimes people are going to do annoying things, but like, no, they're holding on to something for a specific reason. Listen and pay attention. That's me being an insensitive asshole to her actual grief. But also, there's no difference between Team Gurren and Team Dai Gurren.
Josh, I'm going to toss you a bone here. I do want to say they spent a little too much time, energy, and effort animating the fact that Yoko was naked in the shower. Not full on like this is full nudity for people listening.
Yeah, they're like,
she's naked in the shower, and she's bemoaning the fact like, you jerk, you promised me that kiss would be 10 times stronger. It's like, are you thinking of Kamina D right now? And the answer is
Yoko. I said Simone down kind of. It's actually Yoko. She's
down.
No one has ever been down harder.
I mean, to be fair, if like, somebody was like, hey, in like an hour, I'm gonna fucking I'm gonna rock your world, and then they went and died, and then didn't rock my world later, I'd probably be a little sad about it too. So I get it.
Fair.
She's beside herself sad, like to the point where they dedicated a whole minute of a 23-minute show to reminding the audience she didn't get the D she desperately now wants and deserves. deserves, according to her.
I mean, he got that fighting spirit, so I bet that D's pretty good.
That's what he calls it.
That's what he calls it fighting spirit. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, wrapping up episode 9. A beastman attacks. It's one of the creepy ladies you saw earlier.
I like
and
the weird horse face thing we got going on here too.
Yep.
I did not like that. Okay.
When the first episode, like, and you see that thing come into the first Beastman shelf, I'm like, these things are weird looking. I don't like them, but I think they've kind of grown on me as far as just like big, like kind of stout looking things.
Yeah, there was one in episode 7.
Really unique. I like it.
There's one in episode 7 where it was like some weird like arm bipedal ape that was like using arm, and I'm like, yeah, no, that one fucking did it for me. Like
I kind of in my head, don't be mad at me, but sometimes like with like when I hear like mech anime, I'm like, oh, so it looks like a Gundam, and this show is like, no, these look very different.
No, they look like gunmen.
And they act very differently, and it's just it is kind of interesting. Like I love the like the little like the yellow banana. I mean, it looks like a banana. That one.
Oh, the star.
Yeah,
that one's cool looking too.
This I also love.
Keaton's gunman is like peak Keaton.
It's like very Johnny Bravo hair.
Yes.
I like the small little detail of Gunman of when the pilot is talking, the gunman, giant mech mouth this movie. I love when Kamina was talking and his giant like fanged gunman is like talking with him.
I love that.
I also like made a note at one point like, are all gunmen just like basically on open comms and loudspeakers the entire time? Like they're always just like broadcasting out as the gunman talking into the world.
This is a holdover from actually Gundam, and the answer is yes. That's just the answer. They're always on open comms at all times because the only way it goes back to the Okay, I'll call back to a game me and Mike played, Sekiro. My name is Ganuba. Whatever his name is. Yeah, when samurai introduced each other on the battlefield to present their honor, they would shout their family name to know I am doing battle, and if I die today, this is the person that died, or if I kill you, know the person that killed you. It is that same sort of samurai aesthetic of like, here is why I'm going to win this battle and destroy you, and they're all like shit-talking each other type of thing. And obviously, Gundams, if you see one, they look like samurai for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that just carries over into all other mecha anime. That's a little bit of trivia for you. But also, the aesthetic of their mouths moving, I want to point out. Great, one of my favorite parts of the entire show.
Absolutely perfect.
Especially when they have two mouths, and this was an earlier episode, where Lagann is on the top talking, and Gurren is on the bottom saying something completely different.
I love it sometimes this show, like, has, I think, like, Kamina is the most common perpetrator of this, but they have, like, a conversation happening, and they have the other person in the background, not just, like, going blah, 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 or, like, indistinct dialogue, but just, like, it's full-on dialogue. But it's just turned down slightly lower than the other ones. So it's just like it's very. They've done it a couple times in the. I'm listening to the dubbed, and it's very funny. I don't know why it just gets me every time, but
it is a. It's one of the very few like early 2010s anime where the voice acting for the dub was actually really good, like noteworthy. I'm sad that it's off Netflix now. Now it's on Hulu and wherever other places you want to watch anime. Okay, going back to that female gunman that popped on the Daiguren. Nia.
Boob missile.
Yeah, she fires. She has boob missiles.
I made that note. I just a boob missile.
She got those hips too. She got those like.
Also, in this moment, I noticed like I did make a note that like obviously Simone going through it a lot, but he has like a really bad logic about death of like, if I can't protect people, I'm gonna die. But like your death also doesn't protect people, so you probably shouldn't die. You know, He's
Right,
going through it.
I need you to take that one step further, buddy.
Yeah, you're like, if I can't protect people, I'm gonna die. But like you're dead. Just get it together, buddy. Take a breath.
Again, this goes back to he's 14.
Yes.
As a reminder, Shinji was 14. Also, as a reminder, Amuro Ray, the first pilot of Gundam 0078 RX2, or RX0078-2, was also 14. Giant robot animes like to put kids inside the mechas. And all the questions you have, like, why are they acting stupid? Because they just had an erection 2 weeks ago. That's why they're stupid.
And they're still in math class. You know?
Yeah, they don't know algebra. Give them a minute.
They had their first erection 2 weeks ago, and it hasn't gone away since.
That's pure fighting spirit.
This is so dark. This is a dark place we've gotten ourselves into, folks.
I'm sorry, but it's.
But it's.
I mean, that's
But darkness is
actually
the
the
truth
plot.
of the human condition, right?
That's actually the plot of Evangelion. Shinji's constantly horny and depressed.
Yeah.
That's the plot.
He just
That's
wants
the-
to lay
that
mad
is-
pipe, but like the world is ending, and these fucking angels keep attacking, and he's mad about it.
My dad
And he's
hates
also
me.
a
There's
middle
this old
schooler.
woman I live with that keeps hitting on me. There's a German girl screaming at me. I'm actually attracted to this one girl, but she doesn't have a personality. Also, she might be my mother.
And also, like, the rebirthing angel of the new world.
All right, we are taking down all of our post-scripted on Evangelion, and we're just posting this
Just
30-second
post
clip.
This 30-second clip. It's really all it is. And also that shot where Ano in the movie is like, look at the audience, is like, look at you fucks watching this. Look at you.
I love
That's it.
that. I love that. It points the camera back at the audience, shows all the death threat letters he got, like, look at you.
We need more.
Look-
We need more movies and films that are explicitly hostile to the people watching them.
Where it's just the director yelling at the audience for 5
Like,
minutes.
first of all, how dare you watch this film? You little.
You motherfuckers! You sick fucks! What are you doing here?
Yeah,
You
just
made
more
me
of
do
that.
this.
Yeah, exactly.
This
Just
is- this is
I
not
just want a
related to-
movie to-
This is not related to episode 9, but yes, End of Evangelion is a masterpiece.
It really is.
Yeah.
I was
oh.
having this discussion the other day, and this sicko was like, you know, episode 26 is good enough. I'm like, no, you motherfucker, you shut up. You have to have You have to have End of Evangelion.
I like both endings. When I was younger, I didn't like episode 25 and 26. I still, in a world where the movie exists, I can go back and watch End of Evangelion and get the fulfillment that is sorely needed. But with that acknowledgement, 25 and 26 are fine because it's Shinji coming to terms with removing his depression and realizing that it's okay to just be human. But that aside,
Yeah, I'm sorry I got us
hum-
off topic, but yeah, I think you need both.
you do need, yeah.
You do
Human
need the-
instrumentality is happening in the background, and we all know what that consists of. So maybe that's why episode 25 and 26 also kind of sucks, because it's still the bad ending.
It's all bad.
I do like how
They
I
didn't
will
get
say-
enough. They didn't get enough kills during the main mission to get the good ending. So it's all the bad ending.
I mean,
I,
End of
I do
Evangelion
love
is
how like abstract it is though, where they're like, "Yup, the human instrumentality project happened."
And they're just
then
like,
it's
yeah,
just-
it happened.
And then it's just the last episode, and you're like, "Oh,
Huh? And then you're like,
I
oh,
love that.
this is what everybody's seeing while they're turning into goo. Like, I guess this is probably
Yeah.
better than, the absolute horrors of being gooified. Like, your mind becomes a collective unconsciousness, and you're having this nice thought as you're
Uh-huh.
gooifying.
yes,
No-
like that's
Now
Well,
we've already discussed my thoughts on Gooify.
Yeah, yes.
Mike was goo in
wants
a
to
second.
return to goo. Mike is like human instrumentality.
Ray, I
Mike would
need to
go.
talk to you about something actually the second we get off of this podcast, because
Is it about goo?
yes and no.
Mike would
Okay.
go. Mike would go make contact with Adam for third impact. 100%.
Oh, he is touching Lilith. Mike is Gendo Akari.
I don't know if I'm Gendo, but I'm like, if I see someone turn into goo and like join the collective as we ascend to the stars and become a new species of light and beauty, I'm like, yeah, I'm a good.
Okay, I know we're really off topic, but now I got to ask you, Mike, what's the best end? What do you think is good ending? 25, 26, or End of Evangelion? Realizing how End of Evangelion actually ends.
I think I go 25, 26.
He wants the goo.
Give me that goo. I want the goo.
I will.
I will
Wait,
not let my
are we
selfishness-
saying that if you pick 25, 26, you pick goo, and if you pick End of Evangelion, you pick,
Never
being one
mind.
of two people in sexual assault? Like, those are bad choices.
Okay, so
if you pick the movie, you have to go to jail.
Oh,
If you-
shit.
At the end of the movie, you basically say the world's reborn as Adam and Eve, except Adam is Shinji and Eve is a very injured Asuka, and it's a really fucked up relationship that they're about to have. Yeah, that's the ending of Evangelion. Sorry if I ruined it, but it's been out for like 30
Spoilers
years.
for-
You had your. It's been out for almost 30
If you're
years.
listening to Unscripted Gaming's Postscripted out of order, well, you fucked up.
What are you doing here? Go back.
Wow, what are we talking about? This is supposed to be Gurren Lagann.
I got us off track. I'm so sorry.
We're talking about goo. We're talking about apotheosis of Genesis.
We are cutting this specific out. We're just putting it on an Unscripted Gaming best of clips. Just this
No,
little
we're not.
tangent.
This whole stays in. I'm keeping this in.
No, it's coming in, but it's also coming out as a separate clip by itself.
That's what I'm trying to do, right?
The increased content count. Okay, I have nothing else to say about episode 9.
Yoko
I'm
for the
looking forward to
win.
Watching more.
Nia's dad is a dick. Obviously, Simone has some abandonment issues, and then we get a big ass wave.
Wait,
yeah.
did we just say that Nia's dad is actually the Spiral King?
Yeah, she like is at the very end because the second
Which
general, the lady
makes
general, comes up and she's like, "Stop! My dad is the Spiral King, and you will be in a lot of
Yeah, that's
trouble
right.
if you kill me and all of my new friends. So get the fuck off." Also, I wrote here that general, fucking her gunman, big angel energy, like woo man.
Yeah, the way it descends upon.
Yeah, Adina's gunman, big angel energy.
I mean, the show obviously, they already told us they're taking some inspiration from Evangelion by having Masato, Rei, and Asuka literally in episodes 5 or 6. I forget which one it is. But that's fine, because Evangelion is good. And if you're going to take inspiration from somewhere, it's okay to steal it from the best.
Exactly.
And if you're kind of taking the piss from giant robot anime, you also have to kind of appreciate what Neon Genesis did, but also take the piss a little bit and be like, yes, like they make the stakes the biggest of them all, and the situations the biggest of them all. So like, you can't really get more ridiculous than that.
I sent you guys a screenshot of, you know how they have those middle screens for, like, the transitions between what was
Yeah.
normally a commercial? Yeah, here's the one for the horse gunman, and I'm like, yeah, that's the stuff of nightmares.
That horse got that dog in him.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Ugh, it makes my skin crawl. All right, but we have to stop here. We have to stop here.
We should
We've
probably
already
stop
gone on that
here.
10-minute Evangelion rant.
I'm gonna get in trouble for my pro goo opinions. So
I'm not even saying you're wrong. I'm not. All right, but we have to stop. All right, do you guys have anything else? Josh, do the plug. Do it. Hurry.
Oh, the plug, huh?
Oh no.
Give me that CSF, baby. Let's go. No. So, we're back to only 3 episodes. This batch of episodes was kind of a little weird, so we did 6. We're back to 3, so 10, 11, and 12. And if you want to stay tuned with everything we've got here going on at Unscripted Gaming, you can follow us at unscriptedgaming.com. That is where you can get links to all of our socials, all of our audio, all of our video feeds for Postscripted, our Unscripted Gaming traditional podcast, and our Creed Got Robbed movie rewatch podcast. You can find us on Twitter at unscript_gaming, Facebook Unscripted Gaming Podcast. You can get us on SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play, Apple, YouTube, wherever you want. Unscripted Gaming, look us up. Thank you for listening. My name is Josh.
My name is Ray.
My name is Mike.
Peace into the goo.